Hi everyone, my name is Stephen Simon and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to talk about top 5 programming symbols that you will be using in your day-to-day life. And if you are someone who wants to learn about data science, programming and computer science engineering, then this channel is for you and consider subscribing. And as I always say, coming up. Alright, so let's get into the video. So the very first symbol that we have is the semicolon. Now this semicolon is used widely in the field of programming and in almost every programming language. The semicolon is very similar to full stop in your English language, where you actually denote that a sentence has completed. In the same way, when you write your code, the moment you use a semicolon, you tell a compiler that a statement in a programming language is finished and now I'm going to start a new line. So basically, a semicolon is very similar to a full stop in English programming language. Oops, I mean English language. The second symbol is curly braces. Now you usually use curly braces to put a certain code inside a block. You would definitely use curly braces when you are working on some functions, and just remember always that whenever you start a curly braces, you definitely have to close it. In most of the cases, it is going to happen with the function, but sometimes you also use curly braces in the form of arrays. But one thing that is to note that using curly braces, you put a set of code inside a block, and remember, if you open the curly braces, closing is a must. The next symbol that we have is the brackets, or you can just say in common words, common brackets, but in programming language we call it parentheses. So you will see the use of parentheses usually as in the form of parameters. Now if you have declared a function and if a function accepts the parameters, you will definitely see a parenthesis over there. Now even if it doesn't accept a parameter, and even then afterward, if you see a parameters, definitely it is going to be a function. That's a way on how I find out if this is a function or not. So you use parentheses or common brackets to have the parameters, and not just in functions or just work as parameters. Parentheses or the common brackets are also used in an expression. For example, if there is a mathematical expression, remember we had BODMAS in our high school where we used to say we first need to solve the bracket, then off, then division and all. In the same way, if your programming statement has a mathematical expression, you can also use common brackets or parentheses over there to make sure that that particular section get executed first. That was the third programming symbol. The fourth symbol that we have is the equals to symbol. Very exactly the way we have in our mathematics, equals to symbol is used to assign a variable a value. If I declare a variable x, very similar in mathematics, and I use x is equal to 5, now the variable x is going to hold the value as 5. Now what you can also do is you can use these expressions a lot, especially in your if condition statement, that is your condition statements, or maybe sometimes in your different type of operators. Remember, equals to operation would always assign the value that is on the right hand side to the value that is on the left hand side. So when I say x is equal to 5, 5 is on the right hand side, right, and that value will be assigned to the x that is on the left hand side. So equals to operator, or we also call it assignment operator, is used to assign values to a variable. That brings us to the fifth programming symbol, and that is equal to. Now remember, is equal to is an operator that is actually used to compare two values, and it always returns a boolean value. Now that value can be either true or it can be false. For example, I can say 5 is equal to double equal to 6. Now of course 5 is not equal to 6, so it will give me a boolean output as false or maybe 0. Now if I say 5 is equal to 5, which is true, it is going to give me the output as true or 1. Now not just equal to, it is also sometimes used as greater than equal to or less than equal to. I have made a Python series where I talk about Boolean values and comparison operators a lot. Maybe you want to go ahead and check that out, and I'll put that video in the link in the description. Link in the description. Now, very similar to equal to, is equal to, the sixth programming symbol that we have is not equal to. It is something that is used to compare if a certain value is not equal to another value. Just taking the example from the previous symbol, if we say 5 not equal to exclamation mark and then is equal to 6, it is going to give us an output as true, because this statement is true that 5 is not equal to 6. Whereas if I write 5 exclamation mark is equal to 5, now this is wrong, right? 5 is not equal to 5, doesn't make sense. So now it will return me a boolean value of false or maybe 0. The seventh programming language that we have is the double quotes. Now the double quotes can actually store a string of values. I mean, it can actually store multiple characters and allows you not only to store the English alphabetic characters, but you can also store symbols and you can also store the letters and numbers, right? So whenever you see double quotes, it means you're writing a series of characters or maybe strings, and this can contain different type of values. It may be English alphabet letters, it may be some special symbols, and it can also be the numerical numbers. Which brings us to the eighth programming symbol, and that is single quote. Now single quote is very similar to the double quotes. The only difference is that it can store only a single character. Now that character can be a letter or that character can be a numerical value. But just remember, double quotes are going to be the one who will store series of characters or strings, whereas a single quote will store only one single character or one single letter or one single number. Alright, so that brings us to our final programming symbol, and that are these square brackets. Now square brackets are most commonly used to define the arrays, right? Now remember, sneak peek knowledge, that in arrays the indexing always starts with 0 and not from 1. So if you want to start the counting in arrays, it will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and not 1, 2, 3. So that was all the 9 programming symbols that we are going to use very commonly in programming language. There are some others like comma, there's some more operators like plus, modulus, division, couple of more that we may be using, but I just found out that these 9 programming symbols are the one that are used very commonly. So I hope you like this video, and you would like to consider subscribing the channel. If you have not done that, definitely do it. Once again, my name is Steven Simon and I'll catch you in the next video. Till then, take good care of yourself, and that's it.